Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Backstory Inspirational Officers. When you think of some powerful female-centric roles in Bollywood, a few come to mind such as Rani Mukherjee in Mardani, Alia Bhatt in Razi, and Vidya Balan in Kahani. There is one characteristic trait that is common to all these characters: fearlessness. And while these characters were seen on screen, today's Backstory episode is about a real-life IAS officer who is known for handling tough tasks with absolute fearlessness. This is the story of IAS Durga Shakti Nagpal. Since her childhood, Durga Shakti Nagpal aspired to become a civil servant. In fact, it was in her blood. Her father, Subhash Nagpal, was a government officer who was honored with the Presidential Medal for Distinguished Service at the Delhi Cantonment, while her grandfather, Ghanshyam Nagpal, was a police officer who died on duty in 1954. With respect to her education, she pursued engineering from Delhi and simultaneously prepared for the UPSC Civil Services examination. She was able to crack the exam in her very first attempt in 2009, and she was inducted into the Indian Revenue Service. But her dream didn't end there, and she was determined to become an IAS. She said, "I knew that being an IAS officer would enable me to leave behind a larger footprint of social work. So, even after getting into the RS, I was determined to become an IAS officer. So I reappeared for the examination the following year and secured an all-India rank of 20. She was then trained in the Punjab cadre and served in the Mohali district administration for 14 months, during which she had an experience with the land-related corruption and was exposed to a land scam. Little did she know that a greater challenge awaited her. After serving in Mohali in 2012, Nagpal married fellow IAS officer Abhishek Singh and moved to Uttar Pradesh. She was appointed as a sub-divisional magistrate in Gautam Budh Nagar in Greater Noida. It started within 2 months of her posting. She was in her office when a group of farmers approached her, hesitant and desperate. Their crop fields were being destroyed due to illegal sand mining that caused rampant soil erosion and landslides. She said, located on the floodplains of the Yamuna, Noida has a rich deposit of fertile sand brought down by the river. The plains sustain the farming community of the region. However, at the time I joined, illegal sand mining was wreaking havoc in the lives of the poor farmers. In the wee hours of midnight, the mafia would dredge the land to procure sand for construction. This, in turn, reduced the ground levels, making the area prone to floods. Field after field of crop was devastated from the mining operations, but the farmers could not raise a voice against the powerful criminals. The miners had struck gold by smuggling sand, causing an irreparable loss to the state treasury. But it was almost impossible to lay a finger on them. They were established as the local power lords who controlled the law of the land. The average villager dreaded crossing their path. Theft, extortion, harassment, and even murder were reported regularly. When 27-year-old Nagpal first learned about the problem, she decided to take a bold stance against the crime without fearing for her own safety. The criminals were in open violation of the Mines and Minerals Act. They were causing losses worth crores to the state revenue, while also endangering the agro-environmental balance of the region, and she needed to do something about this issue urgently. To catch hold of the culprits, Nagpal arranged midnight raids and they became the talk of the town. She monitored the situation every night between 2 to 3 a.m. She said, "We saw trucks and caught hold of the drivers. Through them, I reached the bigwigs. During the day, I approached the local public to call me whenever they spotted or suspected any illegal activities. Many came forward with genuine leads, overcoming their fears. The raids continued for around 2 weeks, during which Nagpal managed to put over 90 minors behind bars. She also recovered around rupees 150 crore worth of royalty. But she had to pay a hefty price for her daunting and fearless actions. Nagpal was suspended within a few weeks. Word about her raids that struck at the roots of sand mining sent ripples across the district, garnering praise from the citizens. Over time, there was a decrease in mining activities in the region, and her efforts were deemed to be a huge success. However, Nagpal had to endure a series of challenges on her way to clearing up the district. During the first few days, her car was stopped on the roads and people tried to harm her. Everywhere she went, she found the mafia in their high-end vehicles openly brandishing weapons at her. They would unabashedly send out threatening messages her way. But through all of this, Nagpal did not flinch. Her suspension in 2013 ushered in a lot of policy changes. The National Green Tribunal became proactive and issued several strict advisories and directives against sand mining across the country. The suspension order was revoked after 1.5 months and she was deputed to Kanpur afterwards. People, as well as the lawmakers, knew about the sand mining menace, but nobody had estimated the gravity of the situation before her raid stirred up an uproar. At present, there is a drastic reduction in sand mining throughout the country. She believed the common man is the most powerful entity. If people get together, they can stop any wrongdoing in the world. The biopic is likely to be released by the end of 2022. I'm really looking forward to the movie, and I hope that all you aspirants out there take some time out to watch the amazing story of this fearless officer. So that brings us to the end of this backstory. Let us know what you thought of it, and as always, suggest the names of the officer whose story you would want us to cover in the next episode. Jai Hind.